Hey guys, Matt here. So ever since its release back in 2016, My Hero Academia has become one of the most popular animes. It's filled with great characters, has an amazing story, and there's a lot of emotional, enjoyable, and rewatchable moments in the show. With this comes many great fights, and today I'm going to reveal and talk about my top 10 favorite fights in the series thus far. But this is all based on my opinion, so you may have a different list, and that's okay. That's the fun of this. In the comments down below, I do want you to leave your list. It doesn't have to be top 10, it can be top 5 or just your favorite overall, but let's just jump into the video. Okay, quick note, while I was editing, I kind of realized that it's very difficult to put clips of the fights within the video just for the fact of copyright reasons. So I'll try to squeeze in a fight if I can, but I'll probably be using screenshots most of the video, but let's just keep going. Coming in at number 10 is Deku and Bakugo versus 9 from the second movie, Heroes Rising. I somewhat feel like I'm cheating by putting a fight from the movie on here since it's not from the run of the series, but you know, this is my video, I make the rules, so I'm putting it on here. I love this movie. I love this movie. I saw it twice in the small theater run, and the final fight is incredible. It has our two heroes taking on the main villain, 9. In an effort to protect the kids from 9, Midoriya transfers One for All to Kachan, so the two can defeat and stop 9. This fight was super emotional. It doesn't help that they played Might Plus You during it. I mean, just emotional right there. The reason this fight is kind of where it is on my list is because, like I said, there's no real connection to the show, and I don't think we're ever going to hear about this again. So I feel like the other fights just had bigger roles and a more significance in terms of the story. Where this one didn't have that, but I still really enjoyed it, so I had to put it at number 10. So at number 9, we have Deku, Ida, Todoroki versus Stain. I'm going to kind of go through these ones a little bit quicker just because everybody knows how these fights go. Season 2 brought us some great moments, and this fight was one of those. So Ida basically just wants to get revenge, and in hopes of this revenge, he takes on Stain. But he nearly dies by doing this. Both Deku and Todoroki come to help their classmate, and we get an epic team up in this intense fight. I wouldn't say this fight is one of my favorites, obviously, because it's at number 9, but I do enjoy watching it from time to time, so I had to put it on the list. Coming in at number 8 is Midoriya versus Todoroki in the Sports Festival. The Sports Festival brought us many great moments, many great fights, and this was one of them. We finally get to see Todoroki use his flames, use his left side, which he doesn't really use. I mean, obviously before that, he doesn't allow him to use this side because of his tragic backstory with his father and him. This is kind of not using it is a way to reject his father in a sense. But it's crazy to see how far this fight goes. And I like to call it a fight of realization, where it's like, you know, you have this potential, use it. It's not his, it's yours. I think as Midoriya says something along those lines. And, you know, this fight gets crazy. We see Midoriya basically damage his body in order to help his friend kind of find his true potential. It ends with Todoroki winning. And it's just such a great emotional battle. Love it so much. Number 7 is Deku versus Muscular. The League of Villains unexpectedly show up in the forest where the young heroes are training. To save young Koda, Deku must fight one of the villains, Muscular. Basically, Izuku is outclassed pretty much the whole fight, but he must go 100% in order to win this fight because he's basically almost dying at that point. This is the first time where we really see flashes of All Might and Midoriya. We realize that this kid may be the future symbol of peace. This fight is kind of a test for Deku, just because he has no one to rely on. It's just him and his opponent. He doesn't have anyone to back him up. It's just, you know, either you win or you die, basically. And in the end, it just shows how far Deku has come from being once quirkless to now being able to hold his own against an amazingly strong villain. It's just such an emotional fight, and it's just so great seeing Deku transform from being, like I said, a quirkless kid to now holding his own. So for me, number 5 and 6 could be switched kind of at any time. I kind of feel like they're even in my mind. But at number 6 right now, I have All Might versus No Move. This is one of our first major fights seen in the show, but I still think it holds up incredibly well considering what we've gotten. I love this brawl. It's so fun, and it's kind of the reason why, I mean, we watch this. It's like, yeah, that's the reason why All Might's the number 1 hero at the time. Going up against a foe who's basically built to stop him. All Might must go all out in order to protect his students. The fact that even though All Might was running out of time, like he basically like, I don't have time, and still won is incredible. God, that fight is just great. Coming in at number 5 is Endeavor versus Nomu. As the new number 1 hero, Endeavor faces his first enemy, a Nomu who is stronger than any of the previous Nomus we've seen in the past. In this intense battle, to both prove himself as the new number 1 and defend the city, Endeavor must go all out to destroy the villain. I think just seeing more Endeavor is great. I love how this builds onto his character. This newest season did great with his character. I also love how he, at the end, has his fist in the air the same way All Might did when he beat All for One. Just that little clip was great. And this fight was just the perfect way to end off that 4th season, and I just have so much hope for the future. It just made me so excited. Love that fight. At number 4 is Mirio versus Chisaki. I gotta start by saying I love Mirio. He's a fantastic character, probably one of my favorite characters in this show so far. So I found this fight just great all around, but very emotional. In the hopes to rescue Eri, Mirio must fight off Chisaki and his goons. The fight was pretty one-sided. I mean, Mirio was kicking their ass until they decided to use their quirk-removing bullet on Mirio. And it was really hard seeing him lose his quirk. It hurt so bad. But even when quirkless, he was still kicking ass. Like, he was using what he was taught in order to help himself. It just shows Mirio is a true hero, and I hope he gets his quirk back eventually so we can see more of him in the future, because he's just a fantastic character, and man, this fight gives me chills every time. Coming in at number 3 is the next fight after the Mirio one, Deku versus Overhaul. In an unexpected turn of events, when it seems like our hero's lost, Deku shines. With the help of Aries' quirk, Midoriya is finally able to use One for All at 100% without any limitations or consequences. Chisaki has this amazingly strong quirk that just makes him feel unstoppable at times. Even Night Eye was like, man, I'm looking into the future, I just see everybody dying, like we lost. But Deku prevailed and won this fight incredibly. My favorite moment in this fight was when Chisaki was looking up at Deku like he was some type of monster or demon because of how strong he was using 100% of One for All. It just, man, seeing Deku in that form was incredible, and I'm super excited to see where the story goes with him being able to use 100% or how he's gonna train to be able to use it. I mean, it just, I'm so excited. Coming in at number 2 is Midoriya versus Bakugo Part 2. In this epic clash, we get to see the two rivals go toe-to-toe once again. This fight has beautiful shots and amazing score, and conversations to really help us learn more about the characters and where they are emotionally, since a lot has happened. I mean, I just want to show this shot off really quick because I love this shot. And using the All for One versus One for All theme was genius in my opinion. I love that. For me, a fight could be visually stunning and I'll be satisfied. But when you add a level of emotion like this fight did, it really elevates the fight for me. And I just love that about this one. This fight was a way for Kacchan to kind of vent in a sense, since he felt kind of responsible for the retirement of All Might. The two have always been rivals, and in this fight, they showed their true feelings toward one another and, the situations they've been in and where they want to get to. And it's just truly an incredible fight. And that emotional level just brings it to the top for me. It's just so fantastic. And the ending is just great as well. I love this fight. At number 1 is my favorite fight in the series. So far, it's All Might versus All for One. The fight that, God, I feel like it was building up to for a long time. We are finally showing All Might versus his arch enemy. And this epic clash. This fight is on a whole different level. There's so much weight behind it because no matter the outcome, there will be an effect on society, and that effect is very much seen later in the season and in the next season after that. And how can I forget the ending of this fight with the smash heard around the world, United States of Smash. This fight packs a punch on both the animation level and the emotional level, since it's All Might's last fight as the symbol of peace. I go back and watch this fight quite a bit just because of how great it is, and I always get chills watching it. It's hard knowing it's All Might's final fight, but it's also so rewarding knowing he defeated the strongest villain we've seen, because honestly, I don't think any other hero could have done it. It had to be All Might, and he even destroyed him in his weak form, which just adds that level of emotion and badassness to it. I could just keep going on about this fight, but it's just incredible. I love it so much. Like I've said about probably all these fights, they're just all so great. But yes, those are my rankings. Those are my top 10 fights in My Hero Academia. Leave yours in the comments down below. I would like to know. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, please hit the like button and subscribe. We were trying to get to 75 subscribers, then 100 from there, and so on and so forth. So if you guys do want to join the journey, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.